take their kids down there, we'll have a good time. I put a challenge out on Facebook to kind of maybe make a new friend, invite someone to church, or just talk with someone you haven't talked with before, so. Yeah.
I think I really ought to come and wear a swimsuit and don't be so late.
We'll see you there.
There it is. What's that?
Hot dog and take salad, pasta salad, Wednesday.
So, together a work day outside of our church. And they're the local soccer club is needing help cleaning up one of their fields over there at 10th Jobs. There's quite a bit to do. The main goal would be to put up a cable barrier to help keep people from driving out on their fields and dumping garbage. If we get enough people, there's a lot of brush that really needs cleaned up too. Planning to do this on the 20th, that's a Saturday. Anybody that can volunteer and come help would be fantastic. It'd be really great to show up here in the building on Sunday. So, anybody that can volunteer, let me know. That's about 2 weeks off. So, that's all I got.
Okay, work at the soccer field on the 20th, about 8 o'clock. Right. It's gonna be anyway you want to get to. All right. Those of you that don't know where the soccer field. This one's at 10th Jobs. It's not the main complex. It's a low by the propane tank. It's 10th Jobs. All right. See, I get you in my calendar. I have one more thing. Well, I really do. We got board meetings. Board meetings. That's wait. Yep, okay, anyhow, we firefighter stand, NYI, did you do good?
We don't have an exact number yet, but we are thinking about $3,000 to be raised. And so we're pretty excited about that. And we'll be looking ahead to some more fundraising events and whatnot for the district police.
You haven't got dates reserved or anything yet, have you?
We're looking at the third week in June.
Third week in June?
Yeah, yes.
Cool. Y'all might start, those of you that have to do your leave request annually in advance, they're not going to do that. Third week in June. Third week in June. All right. So a big thank you, though, for all of those who work. I know there was a lot of people come by and helped and encouraged. And some of them being involved. I saw some of them. Today's verse is. Well, it's very appropriate what you just asked. There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. A time to weep, a time to laugh, and a time to mourn, a time to dance. Dance can mean worship. Would you stand with us? So let's worship together, okay? Our dear Heavenly Father, as we come this morning, we thank you for your word. We thank you for the fact that we are here today. We just ask now to be with those who could not be here today. I'm thinking of James, who has run to the hospital this morning with his eye. I'm thinking of Chrissy, especially who's sick. Some who are traveling. I know those have got things that they are going to do today. Give them a safe travel day. Give them a good health. In Christ's name. Amen.
For Jesus, thanks you on here. Yes.
Till I am the heart. Here I am, a soul on fire. Lord, I'm longing for your grace. I'm waiting for your day. When I am a soul on fire. Here I am, a soul on fire. Lord, restore the joy I have wandered, bring me back. In this darkness, lead me through, until all I see is you. I'm running for your heart, I'm running for your heart. Here I am, a soul on fire. Lord, I'm longing for your ways. I'm waiting for the day when I am a soul on fire. Here I am, a soul on fire. Lord, let me burn for you again. Let me return to you again. Let me burn for you again. Let me return to you again. God, I'm running for your heart. I'm running for your heart. Till I am a soul on fire. Lord, I'm longing for your ways. I'm waiting for the day when I am a soul on fire. God, I'm running for your heart. I'm running for your heart. Till I am a soul on fire. Till I am a soul on fire. Till I am a soul on fire.
Had a special request for this song. So I'm just going to apologize first and foremost. I don't know it very well. So Betty's going to be leading us on this one. Miss Bellman's requested this one specifically. So if you guys will sing with us, it's I Am Amazed.
Some of you may know it, we used to sing it 8 years.
It's on the paper and on the board. So we're going to sing it this morning already.
Sometimes it feels like I'm watching from the outside. Sometimes it feels like I'm breathing. But am I alive? We'll keep searching for answers that aren't here to find. All I know is I'm not home yet. This is not where I this world here. Jesus, this is not where I belong. So when the walls are falling down on me, and when I'm lost in the rain, I have this blessed assurance holding me. All I know is I'm not home yet. This is not where I belong. Take this world in Jesus. This is not where I belong. Not home yet. This is not where I belong. Take this world and give me Jesus. This is not where I belong. All I know is I'm not home yet. This is not where I belong. Take this world and give me Jesus. This is not where I belong.
John chapter 14 says, Jesus come get us today for
Amen.
where we belong.
There for us.
thank you for your faithful giving and support of the church. Let me assure you, that's not go unnoticed or without your help, support. Okay? I forgot to tell you, inside your book this morning was a list of our security team members. You know, kind of keep that, at least Bob's number. Any safety issue you see, please let Bob know. Okay? All right. Would you ask God a question? Sure.
I think for today, for this opportunity, God, thank God, being our God. Please be with the gift and the giver as we accept your tithe. Amen.
Pictures of your brains.
It's great. It will be special. All right. Make sure it's on.
I'm gonna sing you the OEM without him, who was written by Miles Weber. His family was a great quartet, musical family, and he wrote this song as a young man. But his heart was wrong. His heart went wrong. He was a follower of Jesus for a long time, but through many health problems, he realized without him, I am nothing. And so I hope this song blesses your heart without him.
Turn the microphone on.
That might help.
Yeah.
Without him by Mila November.
It's up. It's up.
Out here, I could not live. Without him, I surely fail. Without him, I would be drifting like a ship without a sail. Jesus, oh Jesus, do you know yes? You got turning away, oh Jesus, oh Jesus, without you, how lost I would be. Without him, I would be dying. Without him, I feel pain. Without God with Jesus, make God my Savior. Jesus, oh Jesus, do you know Him today? You're turning away. Oh Jesus, oh Jesus, with me I've lost my word. Without you, I've lost my word.
Amen.
See it there. Miss Debbie, LeGrand. Those of you, hey, I know her, been praying for her, I know we have.
I wish there had been more here today to listen to this, but summer vacation. And I know a lot of people have plans, but first of all, I need to thank everybody for your prayers, your cards and letters. Betty, I'm sorry I haven't answered all of them, but I've been really busy trying to recover. What I'm telling you is not so that you will feel sorry for me or have it in your heart, but I want you to understand the miracle that was involved. Last year, I started getting sick. I had the beginnings of pneumonia, and we're pretty sure I ate a bag of baked potato and ended up with E. coli. I have acid reflux or hiatal hernia. When I bend over, things come up. Well, instead of swallowing it, I aspirated and it all went into my lungs. And I ended up with E. coli pneumonia. And it turned into bacterial pneumonia and E. coli pneumonia, and then a sepsis infection. All of my organs start shutting down. My heart, my lungs, my kidneys, all of my muscles. I come within days of having a tracheotomy dialysis. Never had AFib in my life, and I turned out with AFib. They couldn't control my blood pressure. It was either too high, too low, or way too high. Every time it tried to turn me over. So I ended up with pressure sores all over my face. I couldn't open or close my eyes. Couldn't move, literally couldn't move. I couldn't see or hear. They did brain scans and really didn't see anything. I just kept getting worse, and the doctors really didn't understand why. I had cardiologists, I had infectious disease specialists. They called in the people from the CDC. I had the top cardiovascular people in the country, or this side of the country, seeing me for my lungs and my heart. When I finally did manage to become conscious, I still couldn't hear or see. I could barely move my fingers. I could barely move my toes. They wanted me to get out of the hospital so I wouldn't catch any more illness, because the hospital is a great breeding ground. When I went to the recovery center, I could still barely move my arm. I could barely move my feet. I couldn't feed myself. Brush my hair. I'd been wearing diapers. After 2 months, a couple of days before I came home, I was finally able to eat something. For 2 weeks, I'd been eating the baby food. I took my first steps. They were very hard, but I took them. I ended up catching a virus in the recovery center and going back to the hospital. My oxygen rate in my lungs had gotten better, but they started getting worse. So here again, I prayed for God to help me so I could get out of there before I caught anything else. So by the time I got to Dustin's, I could barely walk. Walking from the couch to the bathroom, which is not very far, would take all of it out of me. I forgot that they had the low toilets. I had to get Dustin to come and get me up off of the toilets and to help me get dressed. We bought the riser. But the whole time in the hospital, they kept asking me, are you depressed? Are you afraid? And I said, no, because I feel like God and Jesus have talked to me and told me I wasn't finished with your business and that everything was going to be all right. The doctor that I had, I did not know at that time, was very big into God. And when my children told him that I taught Sunday school here and worked with the little kids, he started praying an extra 2 or 3 times a day. I didn't realize how bad that everything was until I saw him a month after I got out of the hospital. And I didn't even know it was the same doctor because they mispronounced it wrong. I just knew that I needed to get in and see a cardiovascular specialist. I went into the office and he sat there for about 3 minutes and didn't say a word when he walked in. He just sat there and smiled. And I'm like, thinking, do I say something to him? Am I supposed to talk first? I really don't know. And at that time, I was still on oxygen, which I still have to wear at nighttime, but I am getting better. I was in a wheelchair, and I still couldn't move very much. I'd been in the hospital's recovery center for 2 full months. Well, by this time, it was almost 3 full months. Well, it was over 3 months. 3 months and 9. He finally opened his mouth and said, do you remember me? I said, yes, I do. I don't remember very much at the beginning, just what people told me, but I remember you. And he said, when I first saw you, I honestly did not think you were going to make it. Most people in the condition that they brought you in do not make it. But when your children told me that you worked with kids, I knew I had to do everything in my power and everything in everybody's power to make sure that you made it. After 2 weeks, they usually do a tracheotomy. Everyone kept telling him, you need to take a breathing tube, you need to do the trach. She's going to die, you need to do this so she can have better control of her oxygen. And he said, no, she works with children. I need to do everything I can to try and save her voice. I came 6 hours from a trach. They were gowned up, they were ready. They were ready to take me, well, actually not even 6 hours, 60 minutes, sorry. They were gowned up, they were ready to take me, they were ready to do the tracheotomy. They pulled the breathing tube out, put me on a BiPAP, and I breathed on my own. My heart rate went a little crazy at first because it wasn't used to it, because I had not breathed on my own for days. When I first went in there, I wasn't breathing. Everything was done by machines. This man and all of you, the power of your prayer, and this was, I believe, a true miracle. Because I know I was laying there thinking, I can't move. They call it critical ear myopathy. I have Bell's palsy, so it's hard for me to talk sometimes, which is also getting better. I didn't know what God had planned for me, but I knew I wasn't afraid. I never became hysterical. Every once in a while I would become frustrated. I mean, wouldn't you if you had guys changing your diapers all day? You know, I had no control. I didn't know when I was going. You know, I became frustrated when they would get busy and my lunch tray would be taken away because nobody had touched it to feed me, and my breakfast tray would, or my dinner tray would be brought in, but really it was baby food anyway. But I was frustrated because I couldn't do anything for myself, but I was never discouraged. I was never depressed because I knew that everybody out here was praying for me. And I knew that my doctor was praying for me. And he's not from here. He's from the Middle East. But he is a Christian. And he asked me before I left that doctor's office, the first doctor visit I had with him, out of the hospital and recovery center, he asked me if he could pray with me. And again, he prayed for 15 minutes. You have to realize I was worked in. I didn't even have an appointment. They just brought me in. He spent 30 minutes talking to me about my condition, going over my 23 prescriptions, my 2-page diagnosis, literally, to 2 whole pages. After we discussed all of that, he spent 15 minutes praying with me. So I know that this is a miracle. I think you guys can see it. I know my children were scared to death, but when I woke up, April 5th, that was the first day I remember. I went in the hospital March 19th, was totally unconscious and unaware until April 5th, when this doctor, Dr. Katie, came in and said, today is April 5th and I'm your doctor. And I've been praying for you to wake up. It's time for you to start getting better. He said, I prayed and you got worse. I prayed and you got worse. And finally I prayed and prayed and prayed and you start getting better. So he said, sometimes one prayer doesn't work. Sometimes 2 prayers don't work. Sometimes it takes 3 or more prayers. So he says, it's not that God doesn't listen to you. Sometimes it takes time. And maybe, you know, my children, since they were split up, we used to be really close and had things on Sunday. My family is so much closer now. So as far as I feel, I am physically better than I was a year ago. My family is closer than they were a year ago. My life is 10 times better than it was a year ago because I realize how precious life is. And I know that some of my kids are really upset because Jerry is having a really, really hard time right now. She doesn't look well at all. So I'm asking you to pray for her. And I want to thank you again for praying for me and understand that prayers do work. Prayers do work. And if we give God our life, like I tried to give him in the hospital, I said, Lord, please help me. I will try to do anything. I'm not begging you and saying, okay, like a kid, if I do this, will you give me candy? I just felt in my heart I wasn't finished with the Lord's work. So miracles do happen.
If you've never seen a miracle, you've just seen it, okay? Give her a hand. Give God a hand. And do pray for Jerry Minnie. She certainly needs her prayer. You know, she's very far along with cancer.
That's,
Thanks, no. Yes.
I was under requesting that song this morning. And I think it's David now. Under the survey. God bless her.
Another with Jeff, we've been praying for Jeff also. Jeff now is super. He's talking, just doing things. Yeah, we never would imagine. Both of those individuals, you just seem to, you were the church that, God's calling us on that. So God wasn't through. And they're right. Won't work. Randy, I kind of told you the cookies were really good, but I really didn't get them. Kind of looks like somebody might have lived there. Did Ray have an opportunity?
it was you. Perfect.
No, somebody's lifted up the corner. Yeah, what is that for?
This is our friendship plate.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I struggled with this because there's so many of you that deserve it. Everyone in here, you guys have done such an awesome job of helping with the teens, with the Belize trip, and so it was a struggle. Even last night, I was like, somebody just tell me who to give it to, because I was just like, everybody deserves this, and who do I pick? So, Judy, you gave us your everything with that fireworks.
150%.
Even your husband. So thank you.
Wow. Seemed like today's miracle days. You've known this girl when she was 15.
Why did I go there?
You said this is another miracle. And that right here. They see you at age 15, the way you act, and the way you act now, would they not say, this is another miracle? Go ahead and say yes. Go ahead and say yes, Pastor. Yes. Miracle after miracle after miracle, that's what God's all about. He's helped his family out of trouble ever since the garden. You remember when he first came back to talk to Adam and Eve when they had disobeyed and ate the forbidden fruit? Do you remember they took some leaves and kind of did the best they could to cover up body parts? Because they recognized they were naked because they ate from the tree of knowledge and of good and evil. And when God called them, first thing they did was the same thing we do when we know we've done wrong, we hide. We don't want anybody to know that we did wrong. But he kept searching after them. He searches after us today also. Even though we've gone through all of our past, and I don't see any saints that can walk on water yet, all that we've gone through, he still searches us out. His Holy Spirit calls to you. He says, come unto me, and I will give you rest. You see, our minds today, the biggest thing I believe we need to do is to learn to rest our minds. We're always working on stuff. We're either working on major projects, trying to build a $50 million building, or we're working on, I should have played that card different on my computer. I played that better. Some of it is so important. But some of it is so trivial. But our minds are still always busy. I bet if I asked every one of you in here that when you first went to bed and closed your eyes, that you just were blank and dropped right off to sleep, I would not get an answer. No, because there's stuff from the day running through your brains. And it just keeps occupying everything that's there. It's just all tied up in knots. You don't want to have ulcers? Because we worry about stuff. It doesn't matter. Okay? What's those saying? 90% of the stuff you worry about couldn't happen. The other 10% you couldn't do anything about anyway. So why worry? Enjoy it. Our minds never shut down. while Debbie was in a coma, her mind was still working. Just she couldn't do anything with it. It was there, obviously, because her body system was still trying to recover. When God did finally find Adam and Eve in the garden, he said, I've got something better for you. And he made them clothes sewn out of animal skins. With this, I will cover you, he said. But notice one thing. One thing had to happen. The blood of animals had to be spilled for the better thing. Blood has always been the path we must take to salvation, to be in God's hands, to be acceptable before God. Blood must be spilled. Centuries later, God got the point of where goats and sheep and bulls and stuff, that blood just didn't work because we were doing it out of ritual. We had these paid priests, okay? Let me just say it that way. Yeah, those priests that worked in the temple, they were paid. Don't let anybody spook you. They didn't do it for nothing. They were in there being paid also. It was because they had been called to it that they could do it. But day after day after day, they were making these animal sacrifices to God. Now, I don't know about you, but I do something really repetitious like that day after day, every month, every week, every year. It becomes boring. I would never have made an assembly line work. Never would have made it. They would have fired me after day one. Because you see, me reaching over here to a bucket and picking up the nut and putting it on here so that the next guy can go and drive it home, I can't do that. Don't be that. Too late. I guarantee you, that's my attention span, okay? I can put 3 or 4 of them together, but after that's like, So these priests, they were making these sacrifices. They were going through the motion, but their sacrifice meant nothing. Now, the people who brought them, some of them, were saying, we have to do this again? That's the best lamb I have. How do I have to bring that one in? I have to do this every year? Yeah. Every family had to have a lamb slain every year. And then on the Jubilee year, it had to be a bull. Now, think about this. All the families in Israel were bringing lambs. Day after day after day after. Pretty soon it got to be nothing but ritual. There was no emotion involved. God was not even a part of it. Oh, they might have said a prayer. Lord, take lamb. Lord, take no best lamb. Pigeons or doves, whatever they could afford. They didn't bring it up. So God looked at that and said, that's scary. I gotta have a better plan. I must have a better plan. He says, I do. I'll do the best I can do. They quit doing their best. I'm going to send my son. I'm going to send my one and only son down here to save that mess of people. And all they have to do is accept the gift. They can quit killing the lambs and the goats. After all, they meant nothing. But they can look to the cross so they can see that I made the ultimate sacrifice, my one and only son. And through his obedience, Christ has always looked to us and said, come, come. John the Baptist was in the hospital, in the jail also. before you got off in jail, he sent a couple of his disciples to see about Jesus. Those two disciples, Daniel and another one, went and said, Jesus, where are you staying? Jesus' response was, come and see. He didn't say, oh, I'm staying over yonder. That's it. No. He calls us to go with him. Reminded this morning, John 14 said, I am going to build a place for you, and where I may be, you may be also. Come. Come. Jesus is always calling. God is always calling. The Holy Spirit is calling. You see, we must follow the call. The call. Now, sometimes that call is for salvation. But number one, it has to be for salvation. Number two, though, second call can be a vocation. Vocation. You see, we have people who are full-time in ministry around the world. The sun never sets on the Church of the Nazarene, folks. The emblem of the Church of the Nazarene is somewhere. Always the sun is shining. Okay? Those people must be supported. Now, at first, when we send people, they are supported wholly by the general church. And then, as time goes on, decades probably, maybe sometimes even longer than that, the local people begin to get to a point where they can support their own pastor. And local pastors are appointed. And the missionaries oversee that. Missionaries are important, folks. We have, I've forgot how many missionaries. Anybody know what the number of missionaries we have about in Chile? I forgot.
Not enough.
Not enough. There's still places that need missionaries. Some have to go as volunteers, simply because the dollar's shrinking, as you know. You know, you make more money every year, but I guarantee you can't keep up with the expenditures annually, because we see more need than ever. But we support them in other ways. Maybe we don't give them a salary, but maybe we help pay for the rent on a building or something where they can hold services and maybe live in the upstairs while they reach the local. Missionaries are important. But some of them are not that. Some of them are volunteer. Some of them are long-term volunteer, but others are short-term volunteers. Like I hope many of you will be next year, at about this time or a little bit earlier in the year. You'll be a short-term missionary, go on a work and witness project, and you will see how you are helping build the Church of the Nazarene around the world. I believe it's so important that we understand the call. The call. Sometimes the call is to pray. Salvation, vocation, prayer. And I'm going to tell you the three most important things in your lives: getting your salvation right, answering the call of God to whatever vocation you may choose, that it would be in line with God's will. The third one is that you would pray for yourself and others. But we don't print that prayer list in that bulletin just so we have something to fill up space. As a matter of fact, it's getting so big. We may have to just do an insert. I'll tell them what it is. The names get longer and longer. Some of them we can begin to scratch off. It's a miracle. One day I hope to scratch David's name off of there, and she's coming up here to pray for me. And you. And your children. And your grandchildren. But today, you're being called out to pray. Pray for yourself. Sure. Any issues that you may have that God can help you with. Just by the way, God is going to do anything. Any issues you may have, God can help you with. praying for others. I don't mean just praying for the medical needs. We got a lot of medical needs. We have families that are hurting. We have families that are hurting financially. We have families that are hurting with relationships. The relationships are just falling apart because for some reason or another they can't seem to have unity. The reason I believe is because both of them are not focused on God. That's what happens. Marriage is rough. So you first begin to serve God. It's better. Just like some of you are called to pray for people you don't even know. People that aren't on this list. But a name comes to your thought process. Let me tell you how important that is. I sent an email to let's get work. DJ. JK. I'll get around to JK work. And he didn't know me from Adam. But I saw I'm on his Facebook page, so I put a comment to him on my private message. His name came to me the day before, and I spent about 5 minutes praying. Because I didn't know what it was, but I knew that God put his name on my mind for some reason. So I prayed. And I sent him a little message to him that said, Dictator Word, I just want you to know God asked me to pray for you today, and I did. Lo and behold, the next day I had a message back from Dictator Word. He said, he said, I needed a special prayer. You'll never know how much I need it.
Pastor, I'm going to interrupt you real fast when you're doing this. One thing that I noticed, something that you're talking about, when I prayed, if I started every prayer thanking God, I got better faster. Because I wasn't always begging for help. I was showing that I appreciate it. I've started to journal, and I've made sure that 1/4 of it before I say anything else is to thank God.
Amen. And that's what Jesus told us in the model prayer. He said, begin by acknowledging God as God, thanking God for whatever. Then you can look for your daily supplement. And then you can begin to pray for people. Okay? Today, I just challenge you to do this. Pray. Pray. Pray like you've never prayed before. Over the next few days, I want you to just pray as hard as you can, but God will begin to work through us to reach out to you. We've made some inroads. I'll tell you that right now. We have people that are looking and watching this church to see what's going to happen. They're on to see if somebody really can walk the talk. And the first talk we usually say is, we'll be praying. Pray. I mean, pray hard. Pray first for the spiritual needs, then for the physical needs. Pray for them. Thank God for them. Our call this month, call to prayer. Call to prayer. We're going to spend a few moments here giving you the opportunity to pray as a church family. Just pray for the issues that come across your mind. You pray out loud. You pray, just give me a prayer. Needs. People that are in our community. And for those of them, as our worship team comes, would you just in your heart and mind begin a prayer? Begin to thank the prayer. Those of you that can, I ask and challenge you to come forward. If you can't, whatever position, stand, kneel. Some need to get prone. Well, get prone, okay? But as we begin to sing the song, you just begin to gather into that song. Let's just spend the season there. Let the children see you pray.
Holy Spirit, I need you. God, sweet Spirit, I pray. The strength and power.
Great time to just come and say thank you. Lord, we come to thank you for we have seen miracles after miracles. Many of us just being in this building is a miracle. Just talking to you is a miracle. Thank you, Christ. Thank you for your sacrifice. That we might have access directly to you. Spirit, we pray for our church. Really the best we can to reach out there to see. We want to see what's needed. We want to see how we can serve. How we can be your hands and your feet. Maybe your mouthpiece to speak for you. But Lord, we want your will. We want to go out and help in a way you would have us to. Sometimes we realize just being good neighbors is the best thing that we can do. So Lord, as individuals, I ask you to call upon these to be good neighbors, to love one another. And Lord, we pray another thing for our church, that more would be in attendance, Sundays and special weeks. That people would see that we are a joyful people. People that come to praise. The people who come to say thank you. Not out of some servitude manner that we must, but because we love you. We celebrate each risen day. Lord, as we begin our prayer list, look at it this morning. We speak Tootsie Ada to home because she's not feeling well. We ask you to go and touch her. Debbie, we'll bring it's good to see her. Continue to help her to overcome these other problems and persist. Just as you know your goods and Lord, we pray for her. Everywhere it comes around, she'll be 100 years old. She still loves you. She still sings hymns. She still prays. Sometimes, Lord, she'll even try to send a word, a message to others to encourage them. Pray for Bob and Joyce Griffin. Go to their home now from their little retreat. We know it's hard for them to get out. Lord, we know you can go there. Go to Bob. Help him feel better from the joys that she carries. Takes care of herself. She still wants better. She still continues to pray for Leroy. Lord, Leroy and Donna, well, they need a touch. Just ask them to just be with you. Samantha Rogers, Melina, Lord Fines, names most of us are part of it. You, dear Lord, we ask and pray for you. The Red family, Lord, we pray for Jeff Stein, what another we ask you to touch him, help him, Lewis, Linda, Christine Frost and James Ford, they're out of the time, but we don't know what's going on there. We pray for a healing touch. Greg Phillips made contact with the church this week, asking for prayers because stage 3 cancer. Pray for your human family, and that's supposed to be huge. Jerry, Randy, Lord, our listening continue on Noah. Ask a piece of paper to help me, friends and family who are there. Son, the experience touch. They need to come to the Lord. Son, they just listen to touch the Lord question. They just some need their emotions to be straight. Lord, we don't even know how to pray for Jesus. Send the Holy Spirit to help us. In the few moments, we can just stand up. Just the Holy Spirit.
things that are visible to us, that keep us on. Lord, we pray for those unspoken requests. Some who have those just don't know how to ask for them. Maybe they're afraid of being embarrassed by something. We don't know. They just need something to share. Help them, Lord, to understand. We just want the best for them. We want your will, their life, and family that's coming. Thank you for those that come, who are regular in their time of prayer. Prayers of the righteous individual. So, Lord, as we go, we ask all of this.
Pastor, I know we don't have a clinic here today, but Jerry starts her new treatment tomorrow. The last treatment was so it is
This is sure, you come here. Those of you that can, let's pray for her and pray for Jerry as she's beginning a new treatment. And pray that it works. There will probably be no here. And as we're going, those who want her here, we ask in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Message is treatment with control of the home. You look from the inside out, Lord. Yes, it's also be praying during the time of this. So we just ask Son, Holy Spirit. All right, everybody, let's stand and say
Praises to our King, praise is Lord our God, praise is one more time. Praise is Lord our God, praise is praise is Lord our God, praise is lift up the melody and sing, praises to our King. Praise God is Lord our God. Praise God is.